Toronto, Ottawa, Vancouver, no matter where you look in Canada, there's one word dominating the national conversation right now: projects. Not small projects, not your neighborhood sidewalk patch or a new playground. We're talking nation-shaping, economy-altering mega projects. Prime Minister Mark Carney has just unveiled a sweeping plan to turbocharge Canada's economy by fast-tracking a list of massive national infrastructure and energy initiatives. On paper, this looks like a bold push to revive growth, create jobs, and compete globally. But here's the question we all need to ask. Is this about building Canada's future or mortgaging it? So what exactly is on this fast-track list? The government has named several projects as priority builds. LNG Canada expansion. Canada's flagship liquefied natural gas export facility in British Columbia is set to grow, aimed at making Canada a bigger player in global energy markets. Supporters say it'll create jobs and help allies move off coal. Critics call it a step backward on climate. Critical minerals development. Mines for lithium, cobalt, nickel, and other minerals are being rushed through the approval process. Why? Because the world's demand for EV batteries and clean energy tech is exploding. Canada doesn't want to miss that boat. Small modular nuclear reactor in Ontario Nuclear Power is making a comeback, and Ontario is leading the charge with a modular reactor project. Advocates say it's safe, modern, and low carbon. Opponents worry about cost overruns and long-term waste. Port expansion in Quebec, a major push to strengthen Canada's trade infrastructure, making sure goods can move faster to global markets. This isn't just about exports. It's about positioning Canada as a logistics hub. One of the biggest talking points here is speed. The government is promising to cut through what it calls red tape and streamline approvals for these projects. Normally, large-scale developments in Canada can take years, even decades, just to clear environmental reviews, consultations, and funding hurdles. Carney's government says that time is money, and Canada can't afford to get left behind while competitors like the United States and Australia move faster. But here's the catch: streamlining often means less consultation, less oversight, and more risk. Communities and environmental groups are already warning that moving too fast could leave lasting scars. Let's be honest, this is the part of the plan that grabs headlines, jobs, and dollars. The LNG expansion alone could create thousands of construction jobs in British Columbia and permanent positions in operations. Critical mineral mining could supercharge northern communities with new employment opportunities. The nuclear project promises not just jobs, but long-term innovation in Canada's energy sector. And that Quebec port? More trade means more business, which means more money flowing into the economy. The government is banking on these projects to show Canadians that they're serious about economic growth after years of struggling with inflation, housing crises, and sluggish productivity. But let's not pretend this is just a slam dunk. The two biggest sources of pushback are already loud and, honestly, growing louder: climate concerns. How does expanding fossil fuel infrastructure square with Canada's climate commitments? Environmental groups argue LNG projects lock us into decades of carbon-heavy energy, even as we claim to be building a green future. Indigenous consultation. Fast-tracking projects risks sidelining Indigenous voices. Many of these developments are on or near Indigenous lands, and past mega-projects have sparked years of legal challenges. Carney has promised consultation won't be ignored, but critics say speeding up means cutting corners. Why is Canada suddenly racing ahead? Well, it's simple competition. South of the border, the United States has been moving aggressively with its Inflation Reduction Act, pouring money into clean energy, electric vehicles, and infrastructure. Investors see America as the place to go. Carney's government is trying to send a message. Canada is open for business too. But the danger is clear. If Canada bends too far to keep pace, we may sacrifice safeguards that are supposed to protect people and the environment. Canadians are split. Supporters say it's about time the government showed some ambition. Enough talk. Let's build. Let's create jobs, strengthen energy independence, and make Canada competitive again. Critics argue this looks a lot like the same old resource-dependent playbook. More pipelines, more mines, more short-term revenue, while the climate crisis deepens. Public trust will likely hinge on how transparent the process is and whether Canadians see tangible benefits in their communities. At the end of the day, this turbocharging plan is more than just a set of projects. It's a statement about the kind of country Canada wants to be. Do we want to be an energy superpower, cashing in on liquefied natural gas and mining while the world still needs it? Do we want to lead the way in clean energy, nuclear, and critical minerals? Or do we risk trying to be both and ending up stuck in the middle? For now, the Carney government has made its bet: fast-track the projects, show Canadians results, and prove we can build big again. Canada's economy is at a crossroads. The mega projects being pushed forward could define our future for decades, economically, environmentally, and politically. The jobs, the money, the global positioning, all of it sounds promising. But the risks, climate impacts, Indigenous rights, long-term costs are just as real. So the debate begins. Are we truly turbocharging Canada's future, or just revving the engine while ignoring the warning lights?